Hello, this is Ben Television News Roundup, a compilation of major stories in the weekend. I am Tunde Alabi. Leader of the Labour Party, Ed Miliband, and the Prime Minister, David Cameron, have clashed for the last time at the Prime Minister question time. The usually noisy chamber was not anything different as MPs jeered.
Confirm that the spending...
Order! The Leader of the Opposition will be heard. If we overrun, so be it. Doesn't matter to me. The Right Honourable Gentleman will be heard, and the Prime Minister will be heard, and every other member will be heard.
In an apparent unexpected manner, the Prime Minister gave a direct answer to the question on raising VAT if elected. However, the Labour leader avoided answering the question on his party's plan to raise the national insurance contribution if elected into power.
Mr. Speaker, on Monday, the Prime Minister announced his retirement plans. And he said it was because he believed in giving straight answers to straight questions. Now, after 5 years of Prime Minister's questions, that was music to my ears, Mr. Speaker. So here's a straight question. Will he now rule out a rise in VAT?
In 43 days' time, I plan to arrange his retirement, Mr. Speaker. But he's right. He's right. Straight answers deserve straight questions, and the answer's yes.
Let me say to him, nobody is going to believe it. Nobody is going to believe it. Nobody is going to believe it because of his extreme spending plans, because his numbers don't add up, and because he promised it last time and he broke his promise. Can he confirm that the spending cuts he plans in the next 3 years will be greater even than anything seen in the last 5?
Well, he's wrong about that, but look, straight answer from me, straight question to him. I have ruled out VAT. Will he rule out national insurance contributions? Yes or no?
He'll have plenty of time. He'll have plenty of time to ask questions after May the 7th. And I'm afraid to say, his own Office of Budget Responsibility says a much sharper squeeze on real spending than anything seen over the past 5 years. Next question, and this should be an easier one. 5 years ago, he promised to cut net migration to the tens of thousands. Straight answer to a straight question. Is that a broken promise? Yes or no?
Let me give him a second chance. I answered a very simple question about VAT. I ruled out an increase. Let me ask him again. Will he rule out an increase in national insurance contributions? We all know this is Labour's jobs tax. This is their tax of choice. This is what they clobber working people, families, enterprises with. So let me ask him again. Straight question, straight answer. Will you rule it out?
Mr. Speaker, there's only one person who's going to raise taxes on ordinary families, and that's him. And he's going to cut the National Health Service. And he didn't answer the question. And let's ask him a question about the NHS. 5 years ago, he promised no top-down reorganisation of the NHS. Now, this is an easy one. Can he confirm that's a broken promise, yes or no?
I'll tell him what's happening in the NHS. 9,000 more doctors, 7,000 more nurses, and 20,000 more bureaucrats. But we've heard it now. A clear promise on VAT from this side of the House. No answer on national insurance from that side of the House. And it goes to a bigger point, Mr. Speaker. He's had 5 years to come up with an economic plan. He's had 5 years to work out some policies for the future of this country. He's had 5 years to demonstrate some leadership, and he's failed on every count.
Nobody believes his promises on VAT. Nobody believes his promises on the National Health Service because he's broken his promises in this Parliament. Now let's try him on one more. 3 years ago, he promised 3 years ago, he cut the top rate of income tax. Can he rule out, under a Tory government, a further cut in the top rate of income tax?
The richest in this country are paying more tax under this government than they paid under the last government. We have set out our plans for tax cuts. If you're young and you work hard, you'll get an apprenticeship. If you're a family, we'll take you out of tax until you earn £12,500. I don't want to see middle-income families drawn into the top rate of tax. We've made our promises. Now let him make a promise. Will he increase national insurance, yes or no?
Mr. Speaker, nobody believes his promises. He's had 5 years of failing working families, and worse to come. More spending cuts, more tax cuts for the richest, more betrayal. This has been a government of the few, for the few. It's time for a better plan. It's time for a Labour government.
Well, you've seen it all. Absolutely no ability to answer a question. This is a country where unemployment is falling, the economy is growing, the deficit's coming down. In our NHS, the operations are going up, more good school places for our children, living standards rising, inflation at zero, record numbers in work. All of this could be put at risk by Labour. That is the choice in 43 days' time. Competence and a long-term plan that's delivering instead of the chaos of economic crisis from Labour.
As the world comes to terms with another unfortunate plane crash, the Prime Minister David Cameron and the leader of Labour Party Ed Miliband have both paid their condolences to the family of the freed British victims involved in the fatal Germanwings plane that crashed at the southern French Havre Tuesday.
I know the whole House will wish to join me in offering our deepest condolences to the families and friends of all those killed in yesterday's Airbus crash in France. It is heartbreaking to hear about the school children, the babies, the families whose lives have been brought to an end. As the Foreign Secretary has said, it's very likely that there were some British nationals involved. At this stage, 3 British nationals have been identified as having been on the flight. The Foreign Office is working urgently to establish whether any further British nationals were among those on board. We're providing consular assistance and will give further information as it becomes available. Our ambassador to France is at the crash site today. I spoke to Chancellor Merkel and Prime Minister Rajoy last night and made clear that the UK is ready to offer any assistance we can, and I expect to speak to President Hollande later today.
I also join the Prime Minister in offering my condolences to those families who lost loved ones in the devastating plane crash yesterday, especially remembering the 3 British victims. Our thoughts are with all of the victims, their families and friends.
As Nigeria prepares for its election, the U.S. President Barack Obama has praised Nigeria's cultural diversity and called for a peaceful election. Obama, in a 3-minute video message to Nigeria, stated that Nigeria remains a nation with global recognition and huge potentials which must not be thrown away at the 28th March election.
Today I want to speak directly to you, the people of Nigeria. Nigeria is a great nation, and you can be proud of the progress you've made. Together, you've won your independence, emerged from military rule, and strengthened democratic institutions. You've strived to overcome divisions and turn Nigeria's diversity into a source of strength. You've worked hard to improve the lives of your families and to build the largest economy in Africa. Now you have a historic opportunity to help write the next chapter of Nigeria's progress by voting in the upcoming elections. For elections to be credible, they must be free, fair, and peaceful. All Nigerians must be able to cast their votes without intimidation or fear. So I call on all leaders and candidates to make it clear to their supporters that violence has no place in democratic elections, and that they will not incite, support, or engage in any kind of violence before, during, or after the votes are counted. I call on all Nigerians to peacefully express your views and to reject the voices of those who call for violence. And when elections are free and fair, it is the responsibility of all citizens to help keep the peace, no matter who wins. Successful elections and democratic progress will help Nigeria meet the urgent challenges you face today. Boko Haram, a brutal terrorist group that kills innocent men, women, and children, must be stopped. Hundreds of kidnapped children deserve to be returned to their families. Nigerians who have been forced to flee deserve to return to their homes. Boko Haram wants to destroy Nigeria and all that you have built. By casting your ballot, you can help secure your nation's progress. I'm told that there's a saying in your country, to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. Today I urge all Nigerians, from all religions, all ethnic groups, and all regions, to come together and keep Nigeria one. And in this task of advancing the security, prosperity, and human rights of all Nigerians, you will continue to have a friend and partner in the United States of America.
To economy, business, technology, the totality of what makes man is what we bring to you here on this Sponge. We give you the information that you need, from business to economy, to politics, to technology. And that's what we do here on this Sponge, from the beginning to the end. And that is why we are here. Keep watching this Sponge from Ben Television. I am today, Alabi, your host.
And this is all we have for you on News Roundup this day. Thank you for being part of it. My name is Tunde Alabi. I'll see you again next week. Do have a very good time. Bye.